Welcome to the reading for the rest of November 2023. I missed the beginning of the month. I was recovering from a really busy October, but I didn't forget you, and I'm here with a really cool tea leaf reading for the collective. Let's get started. The first thing I noticed with this teacup, there was a C in bubbles floating on the top. I thought this can't be for everybody, so I gave the tea a little swirl, and you know what? The bubbles reformed into the letter C once again. It became a theme throughout the cup. If the letter C resonates for you as a person, place, thing, or event that is relevant to your November, it's been coming in super loud and clear through this cup. The alternative meaning might be C, that there are things you're supposed to see happening right in front of you this month. The next unique thing about the November cup, there were two symbols on the outside of the handle. This is extremely rare. I don't see it very often. The first to show up was a heart. There was a heart formed around the handle. If you have been watching for a while, you know that I believe the handle represents you as you are now. November is the month when you're supposed to really express love. This could be love for yourself, love for your home, love for your family, love for your pet, love for your partner, love for life in general. And it is kind of a month that is about gratitude and harvest, so it sort of all fits together. The other symbol, kind of hilariously, was a turkey, a male turkey with a whole fan of feathers. This is not generally read as a symbol of the American holiday Thanksgiving. I guess it could be. However, I normally would read this as a symbol of both good fortune and abundance. The big heart, the turkey with his feathers fully fanned out, these are great ways to begin the cup. Moving inside the cup, the first thing I noticed was how incredibly full this cup was with tea and symbols. I think that your November is going to be simply packed with more activities and events and friends and family than you can even imagine right now. Maybe it's already begun. The first set of symbols that showed up under the handle were two people having a conversation, and one of them is holding onto a boat. The boat is probably about travel. And if you aren't literally traveling in November, and many people are with the upcoming holiday season, it could be that someone is coming to you. The two people are definitely engrossed in a conversation. This could be some sort of a negotiation, a collaboration, definitely a thing that you want to pay attention to this month. There are going to be several opportunities coming along. I think this is a sign right out of the gate that you're going to need some conversation, ways to interact to make this connection really work. The last thing that shows up under the handle, a little further down, is a skull with a bird in verse behind it. This is saying that it's safe to let your thoughts about the past go. Whatever it is that you were afraid of from the past, your hesitations, your doubts, this bird is coming to lift them away and help you move on cleanly into this new situation where you can travel and collaborate and make a good, safe connection. Moving into the emotional side of the cup, this is going to be about the people in your world. The very first sign that shows up, and one of the biggest signs in the entire teacup at all, is a huge wrench with a teeny tiny smiley face sitting underneath of it. You have a lot of work to do. There's going to be things happening in your relationships. I would anticipate a few changes. I would anticipate perhaps a few challenges, and be ready to do the work. Be ready to put the time in. Be ready to listen. I'm also going to say that there are three people in your world that are going to show up this month. They're just behind the wrench. They're showing up as a camel, a T-Rex, and a cat. And each one is carrying a triangle. This is an incredibly unique opportunity. Each one of these people, each one of these personalities is showing up with a situation that you haven't had before. The camel is someone you probably already know. They've been slow moving. They've been kind of occupied with other things, and you've been wishing they would come forward with an opportunity in your personal life, but they simply haven't shown up until now. The T-Rex, definitely someone from the past that you're probably not as happy to see. T-Rex is a dinosaur. Dinosaurs are people from the past in my teacups that are bringing forward unresolved issues. This is your chance to work that out and to move forward cleanly. Let it go. Remember the message of the skull and the bird from the beginning. Finally, the cat. Cats are usually A very good sign in my teacups. This one is no exception. This cat looks cozy, it is sitting, it is very friendly. This cat is someone who's going to remind you of the feeling of being home. This is definitely, this third person, someone you're going to welcome with open arms. Maybe just in time to celebrate the holidays. The next group of symbols that are showing up on the emotional side, I'm going to read them together as a column. First, there is a person in a hat leaping into your life. There's an eye just under them. It's not really a foreboding eye, but it's telling me that you kind of need to keep an eye on this person. They're kind of one of those charge in and charge out types. And underneath of that, there's the initial A, followed by the initial C, attached to a triangle, and the initial C once again. With the I and the two C's, there's a lot going on here. About halfway through the month, which we're coming right up on since I'm a little behind getting this posted, someone is going to show up in your life. They're going to charge right in, they're going to make a huge impression, but there is, right behind this person, sort of an empty gap. And it could be that their exit will be a little lackluster and not nearly as dramatic or exciting as when they first showed up. That said, be on the lookout for the initials A and C, if that is relevant to you. It can be a person, place, thing, or event that comes along about halfway through the month. Moving backwards in the emotional side of the cup, we find a house and an elephant. These are both symbols of home. As we meander into the end of November, you're going to be reflecting more on your home, on your family, on the things that are really truly closest to your heart. You might also find yourself feeling a little bit wishful. There is a large wishbone in the back. The letter U and an I are attached to the wishbone. You are going to be thinking about what you want going forward, how you're imagining your future holiday gatherings, your future family gatherings. What is it that you see for your home? The next grouping is really powerful and quite fascinating. There's a thunderbird creating lightning, and if you know anything about the Native American symbol of the thunderbird, that is what they do. They are power incarnate. They are huge forces of nature. Their wings are so big that when they flap them, it creates thunder, lightning, storms, and rain. This is a fantastic sign that you are going to end the month really in your power. And just underneath of that, there is an arrow pointing to a complete circle, telling me that you're reaching the end of a cycle. That's something that has been ongoing, probably all year, probably as we've gone through all of these readings, is finally reaching a place where you're closing. At the back of the cup, in that back column, representing the future you're moving towards, there's a really big triangle in a nice open space. It is overlaid a little bit by the Thunderbird and a little bit by a group of people gathering with a dog. So this group of people could be your family, it could be your friends, could be your colleagues, but it's a peaceful gathering. It's really friendly. And there's the idea of a level playing field. The dog brings in the energy of loyalty and good, safe companionship. Now we're going to move around to the material side of the cup. This represents the stuff in your life. Your work, your education, your home, your car, your things. The biggest thing to note about the material side of the cup is that most of it is full with a blockage. This is a great big block. It's sort of phrased at the sides, but I feel like through the month of November, you're going to be going head fast, strong into the future. Everything in your material world is going to feel kind of locked for a little bit. This locked feeling could be stability, but it could also manifest as stuckness. Let's look at some of the teeny tiny symbols that are showing up. So the first truly distinct symbol showing up on the material side is an arrow. It is coming out of that blockage right towards the handle of the cup. It tells me that this incredibly busy month is going to hit you hard. You are going to feel a little bit wiped out. Rest is going to matter. It's also going to matter because as you come through this, there's a tunnel, which is a time of transformation and change. There's going to be some shifts in your material world. This can manifest in any way. There's no other sign attached to this except that earlier bird and skull that we saw in the very beginning. The edge of the tunnel touches them. So as you are healing and releasing the things that were holding you back previously, especially in relationship to your material world, you're going to sense some differences. There's going to be a moment where you are no longer in the same place. This can be a little uncomfortable, or it could be totally awesome, depending on your situation. Either way, expect by the end of the month to start seeing things a little differently. And like I said, this can be about work, home, education, whatever it is that makes up the bulk of your material life. Remember to see it clearly. The next symbol, sunglasses. As you're going through these transformations and this incredibly busy time, you might run into some feelings and situations that you don't want to face. You don't want to look at them clearly. Please know that it is crucial sometimes to even go through these uncomfortable moments. Right behind the sunglasses, there's a perched bird. Perched birds are a great sign. It means that you're going to come through it for the better. So go ahead, take off your sunglasses and get a clear look. And as a reminder, this is one of many symbols about clear seeing in the month of November. The cup started with the letter C. There are 3 letter C's and 2 I's and a pair of sunglasses in this cup. This is a month to be honest with yourself. The next symbol we run across in the material side of the cup is the large face of an inverse cat. If you yourself are a cat lover, perhaps this is the time to consider adopting a new friend. Or if you are not a cat lover, I usually read cats as being a situation about your home. This is inverse, so it might be something that you need to reconsider about your home. Are there repairs that you've been putting off? Are there things that you're simply not doing the work to maintain about your living space? Maybe now is the moment to think about it, to decide, well, perhaps I'm going to hang up those pictures that have been laying in the garage for months. Or I'm finally going to fix that dripping sink. Whatever it is, the cat is here to tell you that the house hasn't forgotten, nor has your pet cat. They are ready for you to move forward. Coming out of that area of large blockage, there is a goat attached to a wine glass. As this is sort of towards the back of the material side, this could literally be about getting together with your loved ones over the holiday season. However, it can also be read as stubbornly holding on to tradition. If there is a tradition that you are ready to let go of, it's okay. Go ahead and make a new tradition for yourself. The goat is always a symbol of being stubborn and stuck, kind of like the headbutting action of a goat. This goat, it's stuck in an old tradition. And it might be that you really want your family or friend circle to go back to the old tradition, and that's fine. But recognize that maybe not everyone is on the same page, and you should do you. The last set of symbols showing up in the material side of the cup are all connected. They are sort of out of the large blockage area, and the dominating figure is a beautiful tree. Here in the northern hemisphere, we are in autumn. Trees are definitely dropping all their leaves. This tree is not dropping all of its leaves. It is a gorgeous tree, totally full of leaves. There are 2 people embracing right next to it, a frog leaping out from behind it, and underneath there's that letter C again. This time the C is inverted. The message of this grouping is to remember to see all the good things that you have. By the end of the month, you might be tired out, you've probably run all over the place, maybe you've traveled. Try to take a moment, catch your breath, and see how full your life actually is. Frogs on the material side of the cup are about literal money. The frog is quite large and leaping out from behind this beautiful full tree. The 2 people that are showing up next to the tree are embracing. They're very friendly. This is a fantastic relationship in your world. And again, the tree itself is completely in bloom. It is a manifestation of absolute abundance and happiness. The bottom of the cup this month was pretty empty. There was some scatter, meaning you're a little bit confused about how to go forward at the end of November. There was one symbol that showed up. It was a ladybug. The ladybug is generally considered a very optimistic sign. They bring grace, they bring good fortune, and they remind you that you are fully capable of going forward in a way that works for you and in a way that's going to get you where you want to go. I hope you enjoyed the reading for the rest of November and that you'll show up again next month to celebrate with me my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. If this reading was not for you, please remember you can reach out to me for a personal reading at any time. I will never reach out to you on any platform to offer you a reading. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, subscribe, or share with a friend. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. This is Rissa from Tea and Smoke. I hope that the rest of your November is fantastic.